You know the moment you tell yourself nothing is wrong, even when your stomach twists. That was me. I kept pretending my wife's late nights meant she cared about her job. I kept ignoring how she dressed up more for work than for our dates. I kept trusting the smile she gave me before walking out the door. Then the truth punched through everything. A line crossed in a way no husband forgets. A touch no partner forgives. A threat meant to break me. And the part that hurts most is how fast she let someone else claim space that once belonged to us. But before I tell you what happened that day, remember to subscribe, drop a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. You know the moment you tell yourself nothing is wrong, even when your stomach twists. I woke up with that pressure in my chest again. The house felt quiet in a strange way, like the walls listened. She moved through the bedroom while avoiding my eyes, slipping on her blouse with a focus that shut me out. I watched her fix her hair in the mirror, quick, perfect. Not for me, for him. I felt it. I denied it. I told myself she deserved success. I told myself ambition was healthy, but the pace of her breaths gave away something she refused to say. She checked her phone, screen angled from me. A sharp inhale, then she tucked it into her purse. "You're up early," she said. "Couldn't sleep." "Oh." She didn't ask why. She didn't walk closer. Her voice stayed flat, like we were co-workers sharing a kitchen. I stood from the bed. The wood floor felt cold under my feet. "You're leaving fast." "I have a meeting," she said. "He wants everyone sharp." Her hand paused on the doorknob, as if she caught herself revealing too much. "Don't wait up tonight." There was a sting under my ribs. "Another late one?" "It's important." "For him?" The words slipped out before I stopped myself. She ignored the question and stepped out. Keys jingled. Front door closed. Silence swallowed everything. I waited until the sound of her car faded before moving. My chest burned with questions, fear, and a sense of betrayal I tried to push back. I needed answers. Not from her, not yet. From truth hidden behind her late nights and forced smiles. By noon, I sat in my car outside her office building. I told myself I only wanted peace of mind, but peace was already gone. The sky hung low, gray and heavy, pressing down on the glass tower where she worked. People walked in and out with fast steps and fake smiles. I rehearsed what I'd say if I saw her. I rehearsed my anger, my hurt, my hope. None of it settled. Hours passed. She still hadn't walked out. Lights inside the building shifted from white to golden as afternoon faded. My hands tightened on the steering wheel until my knuckles throbbed. Then her boss stepped out through the front doors, tall, sharp suit, eyes like he measured people instead of seeing them. He spoke to assistants who laughed too quickly. He dismissed them with a flick of his hand and walked toward the parking lot. I sank lower in my seat. Heat crawled up my neck. He looked like someone used to owning space, owning attention, owning people. Was she drawn to that air of control? Or was he pushing something onto her? A text buzzed my phone. "Working late. Don't wait up. Love you." The words felt hollow, like someone performing a role, like someone trying to keep two worlds separated. I opened the door and stepped out. Rain started, soft at first. The pavement darkened under it. I walked toward the side entrance, away from security cameras and crowds. I didn't know what I expected. Maybe a sign. Maybe proof I misunderstood everything. Maybe the truth I feared more than anything. Inside, the building hummed. Elevators chimed. The polished floor reflected tired faces heading home. I kept my head down and followed the corridor to the restricted hallway I'd once visited during an office party. That night she held my hand with pride. Now my hand hung empty. I heard voices. Her voice. His voice. Low. Close. Not work tones. Something tense mixed with something unwanted. I moved slower, staying near the wall as I reached the half-open door. The blinds were tilted, letting thin slivers of light spill into the hallway. Through the gaps, I saw her perched on the edge of his desk. She didn't smile. Her shoulders curled in, guarded. His stance towered over her. "I told you to handle your home problem," he said. "I'm trying," she whispered. "Trying isn't enough." She flinched when he stepped closer. I felt my throat tighten. "I don't want trouble," she said. "I don't want a scene." "Then keep him out of my way." My pulse hit hard against my ribs. I froze in place, torn between storming in and dragging her out or listening long enough to understand what she hid from me. He reached toward her waist. Her breath shook. She grabbed his wrist. "Stop." "Why?" His mouth curved. I said, "Stop. You don't talk to me like that." My heart pounded so loud I feared they'd hear. She looked toward the door. Her eyes held fear mixed with something else. Shame. She didn't want this. She felt trapped, pressured, controlled. He leaned even closer. "If you want a future here, you need to make choices." "I never agreed to this," she whispered. "You did the moment you kept quiet." My hands curled into fists. My muscles tensed. I stepped forward, unable to hold the line between waiting and acting. The door creaked when my foot touched it. His head snapped toward the sound. "Who's there?" I pushed the door open. She gasped. His eyes locked onto mine with a cold, hungry confidence, as if he expected this outcome and welcomed the challenge. I stood inside the room, soaked from rain, breath shaking, rage lifting every hair on my arms. "What are you doing here?" she asked, voice cracking. "I'm here because you weren't," I said. Her boss stepped between us with a slow, controlled smile. "You're interrupting," he said. "Leave." "No." He reached behind him, planted his hand on her skirt, and slid it upward with a claiming grip. "She stays with me. You walk out, or face what comes next." I didn't move. I felt the heat from my anger push against the cold shock in my chest. His hand stayed on her thigh. She froze. Her eyes begged me to understand something without saying it. A warning. A plea. A truth she feared would break everything between us. I said, "Leave," he repeated, voice low. "You touched her," I said. "You think you own her." He laughed once, short, sharp. "She works for me. She knows the rules. She's my wife. For now." His grip tightened. She gasped. I stepped forward, jaw locked. "Stop," she whispered to both of us. "Please, stop." He didn't listen. He kept his eyes on me, pushing a boundary he expected me to crumble under. "You want to fight?" he asked. "Or accept reality? I want you away from her." She came to me for help, guidance, support. He tilted his head. "And she gave me reasons to believe she wanted more." "That's not true," she said, voice small. He didn't look at her. He only watched my reaction, feeding on it. I forced myself to breathe. One breath, two. My voice came out steady. "Take your hand off her." He smirked, then did the opposite. His hand slid higher. She jerked away, knocking a pen holder from the desk. Pens scattered across the floor. She stood fast, shaking, pulling her skirt down with frantic hands. "I'm done," she said. "I'm tired." "Tired?" he echoed. "You don't get tired. You stay until I say you're done." "No," she said, "not anymore." He stepped toward her. I stepped between them. His expression shifted from amusement to irritation. "You're making a mistake," he told her over my shoulder. She didn't respond. Her breath came fast and uneven. "You think he's here to save you?" he continued. "He's weak. That's why you looked at me the way you did." She flinched. I clenched my fists again. "I know what you're doing," I told him. You push, you corner people until they break. He shrugged. Some people break. Some people learn. A guard appeared in the hallway, drawn by raised voices. He looked confused but hesitant to intervene. The boss lifted a hand. "Back to your post," he instructed. The guard obeyed without question. That obedience alone told me everything about this man's power inside these walls. She reached for my arm. "Let's go." "I'm not done," the boss said. I turned. "You don't decide anything anymore." He stepped closer, invading every inch of space between us. "Last chance. Walk out. Leave her here. Move on with your simple life." "No," I said. He studied me. His jaw flexed. Then something cold settled in his eyes. "Fine," he said. "You want truth? Here's truth. Your wife told me your marriage was falling apart long before I touched her. She said you stopped listening. She said she felt alone." My stomach twisted. She shook her head fast. "I never said that." He smirked. "You said enough?" "You twist everything," she said, voice breaking. "I asked for help with a project. You turned it into this. You threatened my job. You wanted control." He stepped toward her again. I blocked him again. "You think you're the hero?" he asked me. "You're late. She's been scared for months." Her eyes dropped. Tears formed but didn't fall. That hit harder than anything he said. "Is that true?" I asked her softly. She swallowed hard. He pushed. He cornered me after meetings. He said if I reported him, I'd lose my team. He said you would blame me. I didn't know what to do. My chest tightened until breathing felt like pulling air through wire. "You should have told me," I said. "I tried," she whispered. "But every time I opened my mouth, I froze. I felt trapped between guilt and fear." Her boss scoffed. "She's not trapped. She's ambitious. She knows where real success comes from." "Stop talking," I said. He didn't. "She's been coming to my office after hours for weeks." "That's because you threatened me," she said. "That's not what your eyes told me." "She looked scared," I snapped. "She looked torn," he countered. "Torn between a small life and a bigger one." "You think this is big?" I asked. "Power built on fear? Control built on silence?" He smoothed his tie. "It works." "Not today," I said. He tilted his head. "And what will you do? You have no proof, no recordings, no witnesses. If you report me, she pays the price." Her breath hitched. "He's right," she whispered. "No," I said. "Not anymore." I took her hand. She hesitated only a second before gripping mine tight. The boss watched us with a stare that froze bone. "You walk out with her, and you're finished here," he told her. "No reference, no future, no second chance." She trembled. I squeezed her hand, giving strength where she had none left. "You choose," he said. "Him or everything you've built." Tears reached her jawline. "I choose peace," she whispered. He stepped forward fast. For a moment I thought he would grab her again. But he stopped when I didn't move aside. His eyes sharpened. "You're making a mistake you'll regret." "Maybe," I said. "But we're leaving." She pulled her purse close. Her legs shook. Her voice shook. But she faced the door. We walked out together. Her boss spoke one last time. "This isn't over." We didn't turn back. The hallway stretched long and silent. Each step felt heavy, like we dragged months of fear behind us. When we reached the elevator, she finally let out a sound between a sob and a breath. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "We'll talk," I said. "Not here." The elevator doors opened. We stepped inside. Her fingers clung to mine. For the first time in months, she didn't let go. The elevator doors closed, and the hum of the cables filled the small space. She stood close, but looked away. Her shoulders shook with each breath. I watched her reflection in the steel wall, eyes red, fingers twisting the strap of her purse. A woman caught between shame and relief. "We're out," I said. She nodded once. "I didn't think you'd see any of this. I wish I saw it sooner." The elevator slowed. She wiped her face before the doors opened to the quiet lobby. Only one guard stood near the entrance. He glanced at us but didn't stop us. Her boss's voice lingered in my mind, heavy with threat, heavy with confidence. We stepped into the rain without speaking. My car sat under a streetlight. Drops tapped the roof like nervous fingers. I unlocked the door. She slid inside with a slow, exhausted motion. When I sat beside her, she kept staring forward. "You're angry," she whispered. "Yes." "At me?" "At him," I said, "and at myself for not seeing how much you carried." Her breath shook again. He started small, comments about my clothes, about my work. Then he blocked promotions unless I went to his office alone. I told myself I misunderstood. I told myself I needed to be strong. Then I got scared of the idea of losing everything I worked for. "You shouldn't have faced him alone. I thought you'd look at me differently." I turned toward her. "Why?" "Because I kept going back to the office after hours. Because I froze. Because part of me wondered if I caused his attention." "You didn't?" I said. "He chose to cross lines. He chose control." She pressed her forehead against her hand. "I left you out. I shut down. I pushed you away whenever you asked questions. You were trying to survive." She didn't reply. The car felt warm compared to the cold rain outside, but her silence felt colder. After a long pause, she said, "The worst part is how he made me believe you wouldn't fight for me." I reached for her hand. She stared at our fingers touching, like she didn't trust the moment. "I'm here," I said. "I didn't leave. I won't leave." She closed her eyes. One tear slipped down. "We should go home," she whispered. We drove through dark streets. Wet pavement glowed under passing lights. She leaned her head back but stayed tense the whole ride. When we reached the house, she hesitated before opening the door, as if unfamiliar with the safety waiting inside. In the living room, she sat on the sofa and pulled her knees close. I sat across from her. "Tell me everything you want me to know," I said. She looked at the floor. "It started months ago. He sent messages at night. At first, he praised my work. Then he asked personal questions. When I didn't reply fast enough, he punished me with impossible deadlines. He told me I owed him. He told me I needed him." My jaw tightened. She continued before I spoke. "I tried to set boundaries. He ignored them. Then he threatened my team. He said if I complained, he'd say our project failed because of me. I panicked. I thought if I stayed quiet long enough, he'd lose interest." "He never intended to stop," I said. "No." Her hands trembled. "And I didn't want you to think I was choosing him over you. I never thought that." She looked at me for the first time since we left the office. Her eyes searched mine, unsure, scared to believe. "I should have told you," she said. "I should have trusted you." "You were afraid? That doesn't make you guilty?" She breathed slowly, trying to steady herself. "Thank you for stepping in," she said. He looked at me like I belonged to him, like I had no voice left. "You have one," I said. "You always did." He tried to bury it. She nodded. "But his threats weren't empty. He'll try something. He won't let this go. We'll handle it." "How?" "We take control back. We document everything. We get legal help. We protect your job or walk away on our terms, not his." Her lips shook. "You'd support me leaving?" "I'd support you choosing peace, not fear." She pulled a blanket around her shoulders. "I feel exhausted." "You're safe now," she whispered. "I want to believe that." I sat beside her. The blanket brushed my arm. She didn't pull it away. Her head lowered until it rested near my shoulder, unsure at first, but settling with slow trust. "I didn't want him," she said. "I know. He made me feel like I had no options. You have one now, you have us." She let out a breath that carried months of tension, but then her phone buzzed. She stiffened and looked at the screen. Her boss's name appeared. Her hand shook so much she dropped the phone onto the sofa. "He won't stop," she whispered. "He'll destroy everything. He'll twist my silence into consent. He'll say I encouraged him." "We don't answer," I said. She nodded, but fear rooted deep in her expression. I picked up the phone. More messages came in rapid bursts. "You left without permission. You owe me an explanation. If you think this ends tonight, you're wrong. You're risking more than your job." The last message chilled her. "And your husband will learn why walking into my office was a mistake." Her breath caught. "He's threatening you now? Then he made a bigger mistake." "You don't understand," she said. "He's connected. He knows people. He'll hurt you to hurt me." "Let him try," I said. She clutched my sleeve. "Don't say that, please." I softened my tone. "We'll be careful, but we won't run." She closed her eyes and leaned into me again, clinging like the world tilted and she needed something. "Steady. We'll face this together," I said. She whispered, "Stay with me tonight." "I'm not going anywhere." For a moment, the house felt quiet again, but this time the quiet didn't feel like distance. It felt like the start of truth. Then a sharp knock hit the front door. She jolted upright, her eyes widened. "No," she whispered. "He wouldn't come here. He wouldn't." I stood slowly. The knock came again, louder. "Stay here," I said, her voice cracked. "Please be careful." I walked toward the door, each step heavy with tension. When I reached the handle, I paused, took one breath, and pulled it open. 3 figures stood on the porch. Not him, but men who worked under him. Their faces held no expression. The tallest one spoke. "You were told to walk away." The rain hit the porch hard behind them. The night closed in tight. And I understood the next fight had already come to our door. A new story with deeper secrets and heavier choices is coming next. If you want every new episode early, stay tuned and grab the free download mentioned on the channel.